There's no such thing as sight reading. And you can take any mode of a major scale and turn it into a different tonic major or minor scale just by giving it its secondary dominant, its dominant 5 chord. If we take a C major scale, no sharps, no flats, C Ionian, the dominant is the G7. That's your 5 chord. G, B, D, F. Now, C Ionian, C major, it's good to go. We don't need any alterations. We got the 5 and the 1, resolution. You don't need anything else. This is why the major scale is your starting point. Yes? Because it doesn't require any alterations. Everything else is a variation of that. Now, D Dorian, also no sharps, no flats. What if I want to tonicize that D by giving its secondary dominant, its dominant 5 chord? Well, I'm going to need an A7 chord. A7 is A, C sharp, E, G. So I'm going to have to change the C to a C sharp. And you know what you get if you have a D Dorian scale and you change the C to C sharp? That's a D melodic minor scale. So is a D melodic minor scale the 6th mode of an F scale and you raise the 6th and 7th? Yeah, it is. But is it also a D Dorian scale and then you raise the 7th? Yeah, it's that too. Is it a C major scale with the root raised by half step? Yep, that'll get you there. Is it a D major scale with a lower third? Yes, it is. What if you're using it as an ear training device? Does it sound like a D natural minor with a raised 6th and 7th? It does. Does it sound like an F major scale with a raised 4th and 5th? Yes. Does it sound like a D Dorian scale with a raised 7th? It does. Does it sound like a C major scale with a raised root? Yes. Does it sound like a D major scale with a lowered third? It does. But whether you're using it to recognize the spelling as a word or to recognize the sound through compare and contrast, if you don't know the original major scales and recognize them by sight, by spelling, and by sound, you have no ability to make these variations. So which process would you use? Well, it depends on the surrounding context. Based on the surrounding context, you're going to use the one that is most expedient and requires the fewest number of steps. If I'm in the key of D major, I see an F natural. That's D melodic minor. I'm not going to switch over to key of F and count up 6 notes and raise the 6th and F. I'm not going to go through that process. If I'm in the key of C and the C sharp accidental, that's also D melodic minor, right? Right? And so there's more than one way to get to the answer. If you just follow one single algorithm, that doesn't complete the picture and make the skill usable. E Phrygian, no sharps, no flats. If E's my tonic, what's my 5 of 3? That'd be a B7. B, D sharp, F sharp, A. You know what you get if you take an E Phrygian scale? Change the F to F sharp, D to D sharp. You get an E harmonic minor scale. So, is a harmonic minor scale the 6th mode of a G? Is it a 6th mode of a G scale with a raised 7th? Is it a G major scale with a raised 5th? Is it an E Phrygian scale with a raised 2nd and 7th? Yeah, it's all those things. Depends on what the stuff around it is, right? So, once again, you just follow a single algorithm. It doesn't give you a contextual understanding of what the practical use of the skill is. F Lydian. No sharps, no flats. Well, what's 5 of 4? What's 5 of F? What's the secondary dominant? That'd be a C7. What do I get if I change the B natural to a B flat? C, E, G, B flat? Well, now I got an F major scale. I just changed the Lydian to an F major scale. G Mixolydian. Everybody's familiar with this. When they first talk about secondary dominants in theory class, 5 of 5 is the first thing you get, right? Well, if I got G Mixolydian, no sharps, no flats, and I give it its 5 of 5, that's a D7. D, F sharp, A, C. If I change the F to an F sharp, I just change my G Mixolydian to a G major scale, another tonic major scale. Now, A Aeolian, A pure minor, A natural minor. I talked about this one on a previous video, how you take that A Aeolian. What's 5 of 6? What's the secondary dominant? What's your dominant 5 chord? That'd be an E7. What are those notes? E, G sharp, B, D. You put that G sharp in, what do we got? We got an A harmonic minor scale, right? That's what that is, right? So we've just taken the mode and turned it into a new tonic key. Now, B Locrian. No sharps, no flats. No sharps, no flats, starting on B, B Locrian. If I want to tonicize that B, if I want to make that B the note of resting resolution by using a secondary dominant, a dominant 5 chord. There's other ways to do it, but they're all creating this sound in your head that leads your ear to the B. But if I want to add my secondary dominant, my 5 of 7, that's going to be an F sharp dominant 7 chord, which is F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, E. Well, if I have B Locrian, and I change the F to an F sharp, the A to an A sharp, and the C to a C sharp, well, I got a B harmonic minor scale now, right? So is B harmonic minor scale the 6th mode of a D scale with a raised 7th? Is it a D major scale with a raised 5th? Is it a B Locrian scale with a raised 2nd, 5th, and 7th? Yeah. Depends on what your surrounding context is. So this is a demonstration of how you can't just rote memorize a single algorithm and think that's the entire story. There's more than one way to work the problem, and the correct method is going to be the most expedient method based on the surrounding context. But regardless, if you have not learned the original spelling and sounds of the major scale, then you have not created a foundation from which all of these variables spring from. If you want to learn how to read, you have to learn how to spell. My name's Mark Dooley. I've been a private music teacher for 36 years, focused on practical theory and music literacy. If you'd like to hear more, follow me. If you'd like lessons, contact me. If you learn how to read words, you can learn how to read music.